Greetings to you, Crocoduck Army. So, did you hear the joke about the racist and the atheist walking into a bar? Well, according to conservative radio talk show host Dan Caplis, there's a really good chance that they're the same person. Specifically, he was talking on his radio show about LA Clippers owner Donald Sterling and his taped racist tirade to his partly black girlfriend about bringing black people to basketball games. Yeah, it doesn't get much more racist yet weirdly contradictory, but that's for another video. Caplis followed this up by claiming that all racists are atheists. His reasoning was that religious people believe in an awesome God, and that God doesn't make junk. Now, I'm no Bible scholar, and maybe some of you former theists can help me out here with chapter and verse, but I'm pretty sure there were certain tribes that had God's favor. Oh, but don't forget the hilarious yet awful rules about slavery that supposedly don't count because they're in the Old Testament. The first problem Dan has here is that he's assuming that everyone's version of Christianity needs to align with his, or that they need to be logically consistent even if they do. After all, you can read the Bible and find passages that claim that God is a genocidal maniac, or that claim God is the all-loving Father of man, depending on which parts you choose to emphasize. Acting all incredulous when some Christians have a different interpretation of a book that has spawned thousands of different sects is a little strange to anyone who's spent more than about 5 minutes examining the faith. I suspect that's part of the problem here, that he's not bothering to educate himself on the jumble of often very different faiths that all pray to the same God. Fortunately, there are people out there who are aware of the history of religion and can keep people like that honest on the subject. Honesty in right-wing talk radio. I'm such a dreamer. One great part of Dan's claim is that all I have to do is find one racist that is not an atheist in order to debunk it, but I can actually do a lot better than that. You could just look around YouTube and check out your friendly neighborhood hate groups and see that many of them are Christian, like the KKK. Whether or not Dan agrees that they're interpreting the beliefs of their shared deity correctly, they do believe in a deity, so they're certainly not atheists. Alternatively, maybe you've heard of that fun little poll during the 2012 presidential election, where they asked Republican primary voters in Mississippi, a heavily Republican state, whether interracial marriage should be illegal. 29% of people in that poll said it should be not just immoral or frowned on in their mobile home communities, but against the law. In another poll less than a year ago, it was found that once again, the most religious state in the country was, you guessed it, Mississippi. It also has the lowest ranked schools of any state. I wonder if any of that's related. Trying to tie a highly undesirable personality trait to a neutral belief or trait that has nothing to do with it is an old and dirty trick. Dan Caplis' attempt to tie racism to atheism is no more moral than trying to tie pedophilia to homosexuality, and it should be rejected with the same force and disdain. Given how obviously and easily disproven the statement is, and that Caplis reiterated the statement later, even after he was given ample opportunity to walk it back or temper it a bit, I would say that he's either deeply ignorant or a malevolent propagandist or both. Take your pick. On the surface, it's easy to dismiss such a stupid claim by one person, but I think it's important to counter such nonsense forcefully and publicly, especially when that person has an audience. Otherwise, we can end up trapped in a world where we have all kinds of negative traits and stigmas placed around our necks that we don't deserve from people like him. And I don't know about you, but I'm not a big fan of living life guilty, fearful, or ashamed. Isn't that partly why some of us rejected religion in the first place?